Good morning, everybody. Let me get my mic over here so we can actually hear myself. All right, we're good. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April 18th. We're having a market melt up going into big tech earnings with Netflix reporting after hours today and Tesla reporting after hours tomorrow. Both of these stocks are up a good bit. Tesla trading at 187 versus a close at 187 yesterday. So it's actually pulling back in this pre-market after being all the way up at 188.50, and then Netflix was trading at 335.89, and now it's pulling back to 334.50. I think I'm going to take a trade against Netflix, probably to the downside. Looking at the hourly chart, I think we're going to come down to this 322 mark. So I'm probably going to do a put debit spread close to the open today. And then looking at QQQ, this one's breaking that 319 level that it's been trading within, between 314 and 319 for the past 3 weeks. So we finally broke that to the upside. The momentum is up on the hourly chart, but the momentum is shifting down if you're looking at the 2-day 5-minute chart. So could take this either way, maybe a bullish trade expiring for tomorrow and then a bearish trade expiring for today. And then Netflix, again, I'm assuming this one's going to come down about $10 from where it's trading right now. $12, actually. Bork. Good morning, everybody. 10-year is currently at 3.6. Markets don't really care about fundamentals right now. The VIX is at 1695. The first time that we've seen it in the 16s in, let's see, how long? The low here was 1706, so we can't go by that. The last time that we saw it in the 16s, though, was back in November of 2021. Before this bear market started. So markets have almost zero fear at the moment going into big tech earnings, which is likely to see a slump. And considering that Netflix is trading at yearly highs or close to, posing a lot of downside risk. Tesla is not trading as close to its yearly highs, so it doesn't pose as much risk to the downside, but I do think that Tesla's going to come in with a miss on earnings, and they're not going to post another record quarter, which is what Tesla investors want to see, record quarter after record quarter. So if they don't, I do think that the stock is going to come down. But, markets are starting green, 0.7% for Qs today at 321 at the moment. And I'm thinking that this could pull back to probably 319.50. So I'm going to take a put first thing on open. Hopefully if I can get it cheap. QQQ. Momentum could shift immediately back up since we're all already rocketing up 0.7%. I wouldn't be too surprised. So that's why I want to take a call option expiring for tomorrow too. But looking at a put option that has a 319.50 break even, I'm actually looking out of the money with a 320 strike price right now. Not a huge fan of out of the money options just because they don't have any extrinsic value, but I'm basing this on the break even price, so I'm going to open 3 of them at 75 is what it's looking like with a 320 strike price. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got 3 of them at 230. 230 over 3, so I ended up paying 77 a piece. So new options alerts. This will be a day trade. Premium members. Just bought a new QQQ put that's expiring today. 4/18 expiration at 77 each. So if we do end up coming back down to 319.50 pretty quickly, these options would gain a good, decent bit of value. They're trading for 70 right now, so I ended up overpaying for them, which usually happens. And my break even for these is 319.23. So I guess I went a little bit lower than my break even than I wanted, but that's all right. Good morning, Kamala. All right, so we're probably going to have some supports roughly around 320.50. And then next one, again, I'm looking at 390.50. 319.50, sorry. But yeah, I think we're going to probably pull back here first thing in the morning just because we did rise so much, 0.7% on the open. You could have some supports, though, right below where we're trading, so watch out below. Looking at IWM, this one's trading up 0.17%. So this one's a lagger for today between IWM and QQQ. This one's falling a lot quicker than QQQ. Whereas SPY is still up 0.3%, and you're probably looking at a bottom price target at around 413.50 today, unless we just sell off brutally going into Netflix earnings tonight. Netflix is currently at break even, currently trading at 332. My assumption it's going to go to 322. So if we buy a put debit spread, assuming under 322.50, right now that option is going for 125, so you get a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, but that's based on the bid ask spread being 40 cents wide, so we can't really base the trade on that. Go to Aries, see if they can give us a better bid-ask spread. For Netflix, this week's expiration under 322.50, so we would buy the 325, sell the 322.50, and right now this is going for 110. So that means we can make 140 for every $110 we make, or for every 110 that we spend on Netflix for their earnings tonight. I think I'll take that trade. I actually got a little bit cheaper, surprisingly. It was like 109. I did not post that to the right place. Whoopsies. New options alerts. This will be a swing trade. Just opened a new Netflix put debit spread expiring this Friday, which is the 21st at 109 each. And my strike prices, I chose 325, 322.50. Again, I think that Netflix has a lot more to fall than Tesla, just based on where it's trading for the past year, the 52-week highs. Has a lot more downside potential. So that's why I'm taking that trade instead of Tesla for right now. Good morning, Mike. Looks like SPY is still pulling back. Goldman Sachs reported earnings this morning, and they're down 3.4%. So let's read into their earnings. They posted 879 versus 814 expected, so they actually beat their earnings per share. Let's see. Revenue was 12.22 billion. Earnings was 879. That's what it's telling me. Let me see if there's any other. Revenue. Earnings per share 879 versus 1076 a year ago, so down about 20%. Bad yearly comparisons, but to be expected since they're not loaning out as much money. But let me go to my notes for this week. For Goldman Sachs, I did not have the right earnings per share for some reason. I think I have the wrong stock here. Revenue down 5.5% to 12.22 billion. I have 5.21 billion written down. So I guess I didn't get the right numbers, but they ended up beating their earnings and their revenue. Let me see if I can find a comparison here. I'll go to Earnings Whispers. Ticker symbol GS for Goldman Sachs. 13.08 billion is what was expected, and they posted 12 something. So they ended up beating earnings, missing revenue. So in my analysis, beat earnings, miss revenue means that they're going to be above 345 probably by the end of the week. So you could see some recovery here, and it's trading at 330 actually. So maybe 345 would be out of the cards. You could see 335 potentially though. Caught some support at 326, that bottom support level. QQQ is pulling back right now some more, down to 320.65. Again, you're going to have some support roughly where the lows of this volume is at about 320.43. For some reason, we ended up gapping up during the pre-market from 320.2 to 320.4. So since there was no volume there, could act as some supports. And then your next support level would be down to 319.50. What time is earnings? It should be at 4 o'clock. Usually these companies will report like 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes after the bell. All right, let's check out the hourly chart. You're going to have some resistance at about 321.50 for QQQ. It's trading at 320.8, so not really much margin to the upside that we can take unless we're assuming that it's just going to crack new highs. But I did want to hedge with a bullish position tomorrow. Got some resistance at about 322. If we're looking at a call option expiring tomorrow with a 322 break even, you're paying a lot for that right now. About $300 a pop for the 319 calls. That's what you're looking at. QQQ recovering a little bit here off of that support. SPY catching some support at about 415. So SPY might be going above 416 again today. if this rally does get started here. But right now, you're still sitting just below 50 RSI. Still slightly bearish. But could end up shifting the cards. Will SPY come back down? My guess, probably, given that there was a good gap up. It might end up, I guess it already did. No, it hasn't filled the gap. There's a huge gap down to 414.20. So if we do fill the gap before the earnings for Netflix, that would probably be ideal, but you're going to get a lot of support at about 414.50, and then a lot of support roughly between 414 and 414.25. So it's going to take a little bit in order to realize that downside. You're going to need enough people selling into that. And right now, everybody seems to just be wanting to buy the dip, especially in the names that are reporting earnings in the next couple of weeks, with Apple trading at 167 almost, 166.32. Microsoft trading at 289, down from 292 this morning. What else? Nvidia is down this morning, I think. Actually, Nvidia rocketed back up. It was coming down after another company said that they were going to make their own AI chips. I think it was Microsoft that was going to make their own AI chips. So Microsoft went up on that news, and Netflix or Nvidia went down, but now they reversed. Interesting enough. But Nvidia trading at 280. They don't have their earnings for a while. I think they report in May. Yeah, anticipated for May 24th. So long ways out to their earnings report, but this one's trading at a new yearly high. Still down from its all-time high, but getting close to some resistance that it had at about 290 for Nvidia. Am I expecting earnings to be good for big tech? I don't think so. I think that earnings is going to be pretty rough across the board for big tech for this quarter, especially next quarter. It's really going to start to slow down. So if they give their projections and take off the rosy glasses, then I think that guidance is going to be pretty poor for these big tech companies, given that demand is finally starting to slow down. It's going to place a lot of pressure on their earnings per share in the near future, in the next year, 6 to 12 months. So I think that earnings season is going to be a bust. But we're trading really high going into it. So that's why I'm taking the downside, just because there's so much hype going into it. Can it live up to the hype? Yes. Is it likely? Probably not. But yeah, QQQ just kind of trading around, not really moving too much yet. It got that support at 320.50 and bounced right back up. And it doesn't seem to want to go above 321 as of yet. Slow market so far this morning. But SPY coming down. IWM, slight recovery here, but some resistance at 179.50. So watch out for that. How do I calculate resistance? I'm usually looking at where we have low volume on these. This is what you call the volume profile. So whenever you see low volume in the price action, that's usually when you'll get a pivot. So if you look closely here, IWM ended up making the high of this candle right where the low volume kicked in, right? At about 179.44-ish. So that's the resistance as of right now. QQQ, it has low volume at about 321.17 as of right now, and then low volume at 320.45. So that 320.45 mark was the low for this candle right here, which could be a pivot point to the upside. And then you just got rejected at 321.15 at the moment. So right now we're just trading where all this big block of volume is, between 321.15 and 320.45. So you could just trade in that range where all the volume is, for however long until you get that breakout. The next upside target for QQQ is 322 based on the highest point that we've seen in the past month. Right now, if you're looking at a call option with a 322 break even, you're looking at either the 320 call that's going for 180, or you're looking at the 321 call going for 118. So either a break even of 321.83 or 322.15. All right, momentum is shifting up. So now you're seeing the volume filling in right here. More people wanted to buy it up. So momentum is starting to shift. That's not the right call. There we go. No, it doesn't seem like it wants to break the new high yet. Got rejected at 320.43, 321.43. So we might be able to snag these a little bit cheaper, hopefully. Down at like 180, 185 would be nice. Let's check in on the other indices. Looks like IWM is pulling back some more. Only up 0.08 and losing that 179 support level. Interesting. QQQ and IWM are going in two different directions, so could just hedge each other here. Go bullish QQQ, bearish IWM, just based on momentum right now. IWM, I don't really like to trade too much just because the bid-ask spread on them are pretty wide, but 178.25 would be your next support level, and it's already kind of headed down there pretty quick. So you might not be able to get a good price on it. But yeah, definitely showing momentum to the downside. And if you're looking for a break even at 178.20, 178.30, you're looking at a 180 put that's going for 166 right now. So that one's in the money, which is nice. Usually I like to do in the money puts just because they give you a little bit more protection. They are more expensive, obviously, just because it's more likely to work out, but I would say it's worth it. Let's see. Break even is 178.35. I'm anticipating that it'll go down to 178.25. They're already dropping. But yeah, some definitive momentum going on for IWM. Not so much for QQQ as of yet. The ask is a 175, so now your break even is where I want the stock to be at 178.25. Acted too slow on it. Now I'm going to either have to overpay for it or not take the trade. I'd rather not take the trade. Either that or just wait for it to come back. Where are banks going down after their good earnings? Banks, Goldman Sachs reported earnings down 2% today. Let's see. They're moderating their stock buyback, so they're slowing down. I think another company reported that they're going to slow down on buybacks too yesterday. So that's probably part of the reason as to why they could be running out of the cash pile that they had in order to use for the buybacks. Either that or they just don't anticipate their stock doing well for the next year or whatever their time frame is for the buybacks. So it's probably why you're seeing a little bit of spookiness for Goldman Sachs. Bank of America reported earnings this morning too. They're down 0.25%. So not really changed much from yesterday's close, but they were trading at 31.40. Now they're trading at 30.30. Trying to see if there's any news here. Bank of America expects to manage headcount via attrition. Says current headcount has dropped by about 1,000 employees to 216,000 employees. Jesus, that's a whole lot of employees. Let's see. Bank of America CEO says everything is pointing to a mild recession. Just echoing what the Fed said the other day. So that's not really too surprising. I would expect Bank of America to have a decent net income, though, or net interest income, I should say, just because they only give like 0.01% away in interest while getting 5% from the Fed. So, yeah, they had good earnings, 94 cents versus 80 cents expected. It's just kind of giving up what it gained yesterday, though. Yesterday, it ended up going from $29.50 up to $30.40. So $1 gain on a $30 stock is pretty good. But yeah, it's given up some of that. Let's see. What was a stock that did really well? JP Morgan did really well in their earnings, but they're still hanging up there. So JP Morgan is kind of leading the banks at the moment. But yeah, it looks like IWM. That momentum is definitely to the downside right now. I really wish I had taken that trade earlier. Trading options causes stress and stomach ulcers. What am I doing with my UVXY position? I'm still holding it going into earnings. I think that if you're going to get any big pop in the VIX, probably going to be over the next couple of weeks, I think. So probably going to hold it for the next couple of weeks, probably sell some cover calls on it to capture some of the money back. But obviously still hugely down on that position with the VIX just screwing us over down at 17 right now. But I think over the next couple of weeks, if we do get bad earnings from the big tech that's been rallying year to date nonstop, I think that it's reasonable to expect the VIX to go back to probably about 20, 22. So probably going to sell some cover calls into that action. Netflix is up by 0.6%. Tesla's down 0.5%. So mixed bag going into earnings for big tech, which means that QQQ is not really moving much. But that IWM finally reached 178.25 and catching some support there. Yeah, that put, I was looking at buying it for 165 and now it's going for 200. So missed that one. Let's see if we can find any other momentum. Looks like QQQ is finally pulling back. So you're getting some momentum to the downside now. So I could add to that 320 put that I bought, assuming that it's going to go to the next 0.8. I'll buy 2 more of them at, looks like 80. Whew, damn, they're going up quick. God damn. This market just moves too damn quick. That's a huge red candle. Oh, come on. Yeah, I got 2 more at 90. So I probably overpay for those contracts, but follow that momentum. New options alert, or this is just an options alert, I guess. Just added 2 more QQQ puts. Expiring today is the 18th at 90 each. Strike price was 320. But yeah, that momentum is dropping real quick. 37 RSI, so it's following what IWM is doing right now, and SPY is still positive at 0.15 right now. So we'll see how this shakes out, but those are going for 85, so yeah, definitely ended up overpaying for them. But now I got 5 of them. Average cost of 82 cents, so my break even is 320 minus 82, 319.20, which is where I think we could end up. We could end up pivoting, I think, at 319.50. So a little bit higher on the price than my break even, but that's okay. USB earnings also down 1.6%. Is it UBS or USB? Oh, US Bancorp. I was thinking UBS Group. So close. But yeah, US Bancorp down 1.6%. Let's see. Did they report earnings today? Their earnings is scheduled for tomorrow is what I'm seeing. But let me see. E-Whispers on Twitter. Where are your earnings? US Bancorp. Yeah, they're reporting tomorrow in the morning, not today. Down 1% this morning, though. Iron Condors top at 420 or sweaty as frick. Yeah, the funny number. 420. I mean, if you're 420 on SPY, I wouldn't be worried about that. But, I mean, if you get a rally after earnings, yeah, that could definitely put you in some danger. All right, here we go. QQQ. IWM is down to 178.20. So it's just below that support that I had called out earlier this morning. And QQQ is trading at 320.09. Yeah, momentum just gave up at that high at 321.40 or so. Man, that was a brutal sell-off in that last 5 minutes. Netflix is still positive at 0.25%. Tesla's down 1% today. What are the big tech earnings, or what are the big techs doing? Apple is down. Apple's still up 0.95. It's trading at 166. So not sure why we're getting this pullback on QQQ. Microsoft is down 0.01%, so hardly at all. Nvidia's probably still up, still 2.7%. So not sure why we're seeing the significant pullback in QQQ, but we sure are. And there's that support. There's one at 319.70, 319.50, and then 318.74. That would be my bottom guess for today, but who knows? Markets are pretty wild intraday. We see a lot of volatility during the day, but then, like, if you're going from day to day, the volatility is just poor. Like, you'll only go up by 0.3% or down by 0.3%. But you'll see these massive swings from 321.50 down to 319.50, like 0.6% in 10 minutes. This market's crazy. Crazy market. But yeah, we're going to get some support around here, I think. So looking at closing my puts at the 320 strike price. I have 5 of them. I might just cut the position in half, go back to my original position at 3 of them instead of 5. I ended up paying 82 for 5 of them, 82 times 5, a total of $410. If I sell 2 of them right now, they're going for 110, so I'm reducing my risk to just 200. $320 strike price. So, and if I sell it for 110, 1.2, or 120, break even there would be 318.80. Wait a minute. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, I guess it would be. Oh, now they're going for 140. Yeah, I'm going to take profits on that. That was a nice little gain. I'll probably sell 3 of them instead of 2. You're going to get some support. A lot of volume down at 318.75 or so. So I'm going to take profits on a few. Not all of them. I'll keep a few on deck, or a couple on deck. Bid-ask spread is not in my favor. 124, 125, 123, 124. Try to close it at 125, so didn't get filled on there. All right, I'm gonna have to replace the order. But yeah, that was a huge sell-off in a matter of just 15 minutes. Didn't get filled at 125. What is the rest of the market doing? IWM is down to 178.10. Dow is down 0.35, and SPY is flat at 0.08. Damn. That sucks. Those ended up losing value real quick. Did I buy a naked put? Yeah, 320 put on QQQ. Not naked, because naked would be selling it. But I ended up buying a 320 put. Just a regular put. That would be crazy if we went back down to 318.75. I mean, this momentum seems promising, but there's just so much people that ended up buying at these prices. So you could get some profit taking. That could be what this is so far this morning. But I wouldn't be too shocked if people just started buying up again at 318.75.
اونجا بره دیگه بابام زنده نمونه. منم حقیقتش چون که دورم خب بعد دیروز به من زنگ زده داد بیداد سر من چرا تو نظر نمیدی خب مگه تو بچه اینا نیستی یه نظر تو واسات برای
There's a
تعمین دادم
ton of volume right here
نه
on that
من
candle.
برای تعمین دادم بعد پاکش کردم
So
بعد
everybody panic selling out of that in the last 10
اشکال
minutes.
ندارم من کلا اگه حرف راستم بیام بزنم یعنی همه بد برداشت میکنن خب پاکش کردم گفتم نه
Haven't been trading and the market's been crazy. Really not much going on in the market besides bank earnings, which have been relatively good. Better than expected across the board, it seems like, for most banks. So that's fueling a little bit of optimism for tech earnings, but I think tech is probably going the wrong way into earnings. Tech earnings and bank earnings are going to be completely different. The high yields on interest rates help out the banks, but the people that they're lending to, tech companies that need to grow their business, not so much helping them out. So I think that tech is getting ahead of itself going into earnings this week, next week. Yeah, we got that support at 319. Jumped up after that so far. Best stocks for an iron butterfly. I would just do it on SPY and QQQ. If you're working with 4 options at a time, like with an iron butterfly or an iron condor, you want a stock that has a lot of volume. So best stocks with a lot of volume is always going to be SPY, QQQ, trading 10 million times this morning so far. You could do maybe Tesla. It's really volatile, so picking a specific strike price to go short would be pretty difficult just because it ranges so much. But it's been traded how many times this morning? Let's see. Tesla. It's been traded 20 million times this morning. So you want a stock that's traded very frequently. That way it's easy to get in and out of your trades. If you're working with 4 different options, you need enough volume in order to get out of those options. What do I think of Tesla? They've been having a lot of demand. Margins have reduced, but again, they have best margins than any other car company. They do have best margins of any other car company. The problem with Tesla is people expect record quarter after record quarter with it. So every single quarter, they expect a better earnings per share than the last quarter. This quarter, I don't think that they're going to do that. I think that this quarter, they dropped their prices on the vehicles in January by about 20%. And they only sold about 5% more vehicles. So I think that their margins are going to take a pretty substantial dip because of the price cuts, which means that their earnings per share is probably going to come down. And if they can't post that record earnings, then I think that their stock is going to pull back. That's just kind of the nature of Tesla, is they want to see quarter after quarter beats, quarter after quarter records, and it's not really sustainable, but that's what the markets want to see. So I think that Tesla's going to come down after the earnings. It's hard to put a price on it, but the price targets that I have for Tesla, let's see, going over to my notes from Sunday. Those QQQ puts are going for 130 right now. I'm watching them close. If they beat earnings, beat revenue, I think their stock could recover 195. If they beat earnings, miss revenue, it's going to go 190 and above. miss earnings, which I think is going to happen, beat revenue. I think their stock will stay above 180. Worst case scenario, miss earnings, miss revenue below 175 is my guess for Tesla. It's trading at 184 right now. Usually in the last couple of quarters, though, Tesla doesn't move a lot on their earnings reports. So a lot of it could already be priced in. And you might just get the dreaded trading flat after earnings, which has been more frequent with Tesla as of recently. Oh no. I done messed something up. I'm missing something here, and I'm not sure what it is. Oil, 10-year, the dollar, Dow, IWM, SPY, QQQ, gold, VIX. Something is missing from my watch list. I just don't know what it is. Huh. All right. Well, QQQ kind of finding itself in this volume range between 319 and 319.70. So probably going to trade around here for a while. I bought those puts at how much a piece? 82 cents. They're going for 110 now. So a nice little 130 profit that I could take. If the momentum does shift back up, but we're still really, really low in terms of relative strength. So I think I'm going to hold it closer to the bottom at 319. I'll try to get out at like 125 instead of the 110 it's trading at right now. Oh, somebody's asking for insight on Netflix. And just take the screenshot of this. So that would lead their stock below. Well, even if they just miss earnings, it would be at 320. Miss earnings, maybe beat revenue. So it'd be at about 320 for Netflix, trading at 332 right now. So decent downside potential if they miss earnings, like I'm expecting at least. Kind of tempted to see if this fills in the gap down to yesterday's close. Let's see. Let's look at the daily chart. It's pretty messy, but high yesterday was 319.20. Low today was 319.20, I think, too. So I guess we did end up filling the gap with this candle, the low at 319.13. So we ended up filling the gap, so we could end up going back up after filling. But right now we're just getting trapped between that gap and 319.70. Trapped in the gap. IWM is just getting a little bit of a recovery right now. 178.31. Ended up bottoming out at 178, looks like. All right, looks like we're headed higher for QQQ now. So I'll probably get out of these at 110.
نه سروش من اینجور که شنیدم و تازه بابا رو دیدم خب شرایط بابا خوب نیست سروش آخه تنها تو خونه فکر نکنم چه میدونم چی میگن
Next resistance would be about 320.5 or so.
آلبالو میگم اگر روزم فقط باشه میگم شب خودم هستم خب آلبالو دوست داره بابام بیاد الان
So if you want to take it and flip it, you could buy a call with a break even of 320.4, 320.5. I don't know if I would want to take the bullish trade yet, though. At 36 RSI doesn't seem promising.
8 بچه داره خب برادر هیچی کارشون من تو هیچ شرایطی من راضی نبودم خب
Just completed a test for school. Missed out on a entry at 150. TLT, what's TLT up to? The Treasuries up 0.4%, rallying off the lows at 104. So not really changing too much in the last couple weeks. Just been in that range of 103 to 108. Very wide range for TLT, but with as volatile as the yields have been, that's not too surprising. With the 10-year going from 3.6 to 3.25, it's been all over the place with the yields. That's what I'm missing. TLT is what I'm missing on here. There we go, 0.5%. All right. Got rejected at 319.70 again. So just trading in this range, going back and forth, back and forth. The usual. It's like a morning routine for the markets to just find a range. QQQ yesterday didn't really have much of a range in the morning, actually. A very wide range, but didn't really have much one. All right. SPY is almost negative now. But IWM is at 178.50, so good recovery for IWM. Could mean that we turn around for QQQ. So I'm going to have to probably get out of these at 120 is what it's looking like. So total of 600 credit to exit. I open them at 82 times 5 for about $200 profit. I would hope I can get a little bit more, but IWM doesn't seem too promising for me right now, if that's going to lead the market back up in the rally. Still at 37 RSI, so not fully confident in a recovery on IWM, but definitely doing a lot better than QQQ at 33 RSI. All right, yeah, I'm going to get out at 120. Now I'm going to have to drop it to 115. Waited too long. It's just trading in this small little range, man. I wish we could get a break in one direction or the other, but it doesn't want to move yet. All right, now they're going for 120 again, so I'll get out. This time, I'll get out of 3 of them and leave, or I'll get out of 2 of them and leave 3 on the table, just in case we do end up breaking the downside. Yep. Close that of 2, so I got 3 left. Closing options alert. Premium members just took profits on 2 of 5. QQQ 320 calls. Puts, sorry. Expiring today, the 18th, at 121 each. It's about an $80 profit so far here. And just watching that support level at about 319.15, 319.20 for the rest of the exits here. There's a lot of volume down below at 319, so watch out for that. If we do end up getting bought up, I would imagine that would be where. All right, they're going for 125 a piece now. IWM's at 178.70, so if that's going to lead us up, I want to get out of these down at the lows. We're almost there, but not quite. So I'll probably exit at 125, I think. Ooh, maybe I'm lucky at 135. Oh, man. Not so lucky. All right. I actually got out at 136-ish. Come on now. Just took profits, and of course we flushed right after that on the 320 QQQ puts, expiring today for 18 at how much a piece? 411 over 3, 137 each. Yeah, we flushed right after I closed that. Gotta love it. Gensler hearing. Oh, Gary Gensler. Oh, those puts are going for 170 now, so I missed out on like $120 of profit there. What a shame. Now we're below 318.74. VIX is finally getting a little bit of love today, up 1%. Still trading at 1712, ridiculously low. But yeah, you're probably going to get some supports at 318.74. But it seems like everybody wants to sell out of tech going into Netflix earnings tonight. So Netflix actually isn't selling off though, only down 0.3%. I've still got a 316 put on QQQ that expires on 420. Overpaid for it as usual. But that trade could end up possibly turning around if everybody wants to sell out of QQQ ahead of big tech earnings for Netflix and Tesla. Tesla's down 1.5%. So it looks like no stocks are getting saved today. Banks are down. Tech is starting to come down. Let's see. Let's check the big names. Apple is still up 0.5%. Still holding on to its gains. Microsoft down 0.5%. So Microsoft is leading the downside. Nvidia still up 2.5%. So not really seeing too much pain in the mega caps, the big tech companies. But QQQ is definitely feeling it. $242, $411, $242, $411. That's how much I closed those for. $653. And I bought minus 180, minus $230. So $243 profit for that trade. I'm glad that I added more to the position. As soon as I saw momentum coming down, I figured that was the time to pile into that position. Wish I had held it, but that's okay. At least it's a profit. But now you're below 318.74. Momentum is still really brutally to the downside. Next support level, there's a lot of volume here, so it's hard to trust, but next support level would be 317 for QQQ. I don't think I want to test my luck there. That seems a little bit too edgy for my taste. So I'll lay off of that trade. Try to find something new. SPY is down 0.1%, dropping pretty heavy off of the 416 high. We ended up filling the gap. Next support level would be about 412.80, about 70 cents down. Already down from 416. Let's see. But if we want a SPY put, assuming we drop to that 412.80 level, we could go in the money with a 415 put. That's not bad. Not bad at all. It's going for 215 right now. Probably overpaying for it at 220, but what's new with me? Overpaying for options. Oh man, it's already there. Well, too late for that trade. Which platform is this? This is Thinkorswim that I'm using. Those QQQ puts gained a shit ton of value right after I closed them. That sucks. The one position that I go pretty sizable on, I close out of early. VIX is almost up 2%. That's a decent move for the VIX. SPY's only down 0.2% after falling from what, 415 was it? 416 to 413. So dropping almost 1%, but the VIX is only up 1.8. This is what I'm telling y'all about these intraday moves. It's just killing the VIX. Like if we got this move, say we were at 416 yesterday and now we were down to 413, then the VIX would be up probably a good 4 or 5%. But since we started at 416 and now we're down to 412 or 413, the VIX is only up 1.5%. And then you're probably going to get some people buying in at this low at 412.90, probably going to send it back up to like 415 or something crazy. And then the VIX is just going to get murdered again today. IWM is below 178, so bleeding even more. More momentum to the downside. Worst case scenario, I'd probably say 176.70 on IWM today. So if we just keep on bleeding out, that'll be a pretty rough day for IWM. That would be yesterday's open, roughly. At 176.80. 176.70, actually. They don't have 0 data expiration options, though, so can't take it and flip it like you can for QQQ and SPY. But right now, you could buy a 178 put for 106, so your break even 177 almost. IWM has the worst momentum going for it right now. So that's why I would want to take it right now versus QQQ or SPY, both kind of trading flat. Bought it for 106, actually, so a little bit cheaper than I wanted. Good. New options alert. This could be a day trade, could be a swing trade, not sure yet. Depending on how quickly we fall. Just opened a new IWM put expiring tomorrow, which is the 19th, at 106 each. So my break even there will be 178 minus 106, or break even of 176.94. And my price target is 176.70. gonna set an alert just in case I'm not paying attention when it hits. But 176.70 is my price target. Right now we're at 177.75, so we have $1 to go down. For IWM, it's 1 over 177, about 0.5%. So we would have to be down about 1% for IWM to get to that price level. We're going past this 177.65 support right now. Which is coming from the daily chart, I think. Yeah, right here. The low of this candle before a gap down. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a recovery for QQQ, only down 0.1% now. Trading to 318.50. Lots of volume in this range, so makes sense for people to maybe want to start buying, and then you're going to get resistance at about 318.74 and 319. Momentum is still bad though across the board for QQQ at 30 RSI. For SPY is at 29 RSI. For IWM is at probably a little bit higher. Actually 30.4 RSI. So all the RSIs are oversold on the 5-minute chart right now. So very, very weak. The Netflix trade that opened is up a whopping $3. I bought 3 of them, so $1 a piece. Got them for $109, and they're trading for $110. Assuming Netflix is going to drop about $10 from right now after their earnings today, after hours, by the end of the week. Looks like IWM got a little bit of a support there at 177.65 so far. Gold is getting a little bit of a rally, up 0.6% to 186. I feel like gold is pretty well priced at 185. Wouldn't be too opposed to starting a position in gold at 185 for GLD. Looks like SPY is getting a little bit of a rally here. Watch out for about 414.50 to the upside if it does end up getting a good recovery. And QQQ retesting 318.74.75. Next resistance at 319. And then at 319.90. Straddle for Netflix, in theory, should be a safe play. Yeah, I would think that Netflix would make a big move in either direction, considering that they're almost at all-time highs. If they have good earnings, then, or not all-time highs, but 52-week highs. If they're at good earnings, if they have good earnings, then 52-week highs could be in the cards. And then if they have bad earnings, then it would fall pretty heavy. So a straddle or a strangle might not be too bad. All right, QQQ coming up to 319 again. Touched it but couldn't break. Right now the 319 call is going for 84 cents. Slightly out of the money. But wouldn't be too shocking to see that recovery back to where we were trading before this morning. Just because of these wild intraday swings. I'm just not too confident in the trade because of RSI being so low. If relative strength was like 40, I think I'd be okay with it. Or like 45, 50, I'd be okay with that trade. But at 34, it's a very weak market right now. And then to the downside, if we keep on selling off on this weakness, we could be down to 317 or so by the end of the day. And right now you can pick up a 318 call for pretty cheap. It's out of the money, obviously. But RSI is insisting more downside. I think there's only about 50% profit potential in that trade, though. So not a huge profit potential, but could still be worth trading if you don't think we're going to go back to 319 and above. You could also buy the 319 put. Right now it's going for 105, so you could double that if we go down to 319, or sorry, 317. But lately everybody's just been buying the dip, so hard to trust any huge downside move, especially for QQQ. Market past 2 days has just been nonstop Jaws music, just waiting for some significant move. Yeah. I mean, you get significant moves like during the day, like 320 to 318 for QQQ is 0.6%. But then if you look at the daily change from yesterday's close to today, it's only down 0.1. So you're getting like these big moves during the day, during the open hours, but then like you're getting these huge rallies overnight or huge drops overnight to where that change really doesn't amount to much. It seems like every time we go up, we just gap down, or if we gap up, then we flush down, and it's just ping-ponging back and forth continuously. It's a very annoying market, but it's a day trader's delight for sure. Because you can take these contracts and flip them for 100% profit all day long if you're choosing the right direction. Obviously, choosing the right direction is the difficult part, but I would just follow momentum. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of trading days, 2-3 trading days, and that's been working okay for me. Just trading 0 data expiration options based on momentum trading. Right now, momentum is down, so I'll take a put option, trading at 32 RSI, and I would probably short it down to like 317 or so, would be my guess. But right now, the contracts are a bit expensive. I was looking at them earlier. They were trading for $1. Now they're going for 120, so they're already up by 20% since I first looked at them. And you're going to get some supports in this level too, just because there's so much trading volume. But yeah, I would say worst case scenario, we're down to 317 by the end of the day for QQQ, which would only be another $2 down. So 2 over 318. It's only like a 0.6% drop, even though we started at 321. So it'll be a total of a $5 drop on 321 for a 1.5% move intraday. Looking at buying that 319 put. They're going for 115. I wanted to get them at 110, but too slow. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to miss out on that opportunity. I got the IWM puts, so those should profit as the markets keep coming down. IWM's 0.6% down this morning. Down to that support level at 177.67 again. Or 65, I should say. All right, these are going for 115 now, so getting to be a good price if we get more downside. But right now we're stalling between 318.13 and 319. This contracts just moved so quick. They went from 110 to 115 in like a minute, less than a minute. I just have a hard time paying $240 for a worst case trade, worst case scenario trade. I could just buy one and flip it, I guess. That could be my solution. There we go. Well, now we're getting trapped here. Still trading at 34 RSI, so momentum is still bad. But too much volume in this area to let it sell off significantly as of right now. All right, watch out for 318.75 and then 319 to the upside. Tesla gonna rip on earnings? I don't think so. I think that Tesla's gonna come down. My guess, probably below 180, maybe 175. Why is UVIXI not going up? Because SPY is only down 0.1% today. So if this intraday volatility doesn't really affect the VIX, it's whenever you get a big day-to-day move. If SPY were down by 0.5, 0.8%, then you would get a pop in the VIX. But since it's only down 0.1% because of this morning's rally, the pre-market rally, you're not getting that much love for the VIX. Simply put, if we ended yesterday, say at SPY, let's see. say we ended yesterday at 416 and we were trading at 412, now that would be a 1% move. So the VIX would be up like 4 or 5%. But since we ended yesterday at 414 or so, it's only down $1, 0.13%. So not much change day to day. So the VIX isn't going to move. Simply put, time to buy puts. Yeah. I'm trying to buy some puts, but trying to get a good price on it. But yeah, momentum is definitely down. We got 3 lower highs so far. Could go higher, but not yet. Come on now. They just keep changing value so quickly. It's hard to get a good price. That and you're retesting 318.75 for QQQ. So I'm not too convinced on this trade, so I don't think I'll take it. Not until we get another flush lower. I'm sure I'll end up overpaying for it, but I'd rather chase momentum than get in too early and then face a rally right after I get out or right after I get into some puts. But man, they're getting cheap now. Tempting. Very, very tempting. But no decisive momentum yet. IWM seemed to have caught another support at 177.65. It's the second time. Slightly lower, I guess, at 177.50. So watch for those couple price levels. Iron Condor for Tesla earnings, that could be okay. Enjoy your coffee and observe. Yeah. Exactly. Burning time market. That's what it is. All right. Looks like we got a pretty solid rejection so far off of the highs right before this. So this could be a lower high coming in. Maybe. Like you said, just burning time though. So far. Undecided. Yeah, Iron Condor for Tesla could be okay. I would want to close that like the morning after the earnings though. Because usually you'll get a big move after, a couple days after. But the same day, usually it's just kind of trading flat for earnings on Tesla. Tesla's always the most anticipated earnings, but it doesn't really move much, at least over the last couple of quarters. That's been the case. Let's see. Looks like they rallied ahead of the earnings and then traded flat after. Actually, they did gap up, but that was the pre-market, I think. Earnings before that, I guess you had a gap down. I would set your bounds for pretty wide on Tesla. I'm sure you'll still get a good credit just because of how volatile Tesla is. You could probably go. Let's see, it's trading at 185 right now. I'd probably go 170 if you want to play it safe. 170, 195 maybe. Somewhere in that range. If you want to get the best credit, I would say 175 to 195, so like $10 in either direction. My 319, 320 call credit spreads aren't doing too hot. I guess we're trading close to 319, so it's putting them on edge. Just wish we could get a good flush. Or a bounce, either one. Decide on some momentum here. And I'll trade it either way. I got a Fed member speaking. Fed Bostic. Baseline to hold rates after the next rate hike for May to be expected. Not surprising. Looks like we could be breaking the highs at 318.75. Next resistance I would want to take on, 319 obviously, but then above that you're looking at 319.90, so almost 320, and then 320.4 if we end up recovering all what we just lost. Momentum is starting to shape up, but not getting there just yet. How do I look at RSI? So RSI, it's relative strength. If it's trading closer to 30, that means that the market is weak. That means that the market is bearish. So that means that the momentum is bearish. So if we saw this starting to pull back closer to 30, I would use that as a momentum indicator to say this is going to continue to go down. Whereas if, say, this is above 40, getting close to 50 RSI, then this would be going up, and that would be starting to be bullish. Above 50 would be bullish RSI, and then below 50 is bearish RSI. Right, so you can see this trading action. It started at 60 RSI right before the dip, ended up going below 50, so that was your cue that we were going to start being bearish. We went all the way down to 30, actually down at 26, and then we just kind of kept being oversold, right, close to 30 RSI. So that tells you that the market is very weak right now. People are more prone to selling in this market as of right now, so the momentum is down. So you want to follow that momentum, especially in today's trading action, just because that momentum can really ramp up. Like we saw it go from 321 to 318 in a matter of, started at 9:50, almost 10 a.m., ended at 10:30, so about 30 minutes you dropped like 0.6% for QQQ. Do I think SPY could hit 412? It's trading at 413 right now. Next support level, yeah, that would be about 412 for the day. Momentum is bearish at 31. So if we keep on selling off, then yeah, we could see 412 by the end of the day. I would probably call that like a base case scenario. So yeah, 412 could be okay. Worst case scenario, you'll probably sell off to 411.35, I think, for today. But there's a lot of volume down below between 412 and 413, so there could be enough buyers to support it between 412 and 413. It looks like IWM is finally pulling back to 177.50, so momentum is down there. Those puts I bought are up a little bit. I bought them for 106. They're going for 118 now. So that's where you're seeing momentum, right? So momentum just went, RSI just went below 30. So momentum is negative and bearish. So chances are that this is going to keep selling off. Next support level that I have is 176.70. So that's where I would probably want to take profits. And then I also have a support at 177.14, but I'm betting on 176.70. But right now there's no momentum in QQQ. So can't take a trade there yet. SPY, kind of the same situation. Momentum does seem to be a little bit down, but there's a lot of support at about 413 to save it. All right, QQQ is coming back up, 319 now. So looking at 40 RSI, getting closer to 50. So this could be your signal of a market U-turn. My guess would be a top of 320.4 for QQQ. But that's if we get a definitive breakout. Right now it's at a double top. So it's not definitive yet. And the 318 calls are going for 135, so you could flip those to $2 if it goes back up to 320, which is about $1 away. Yeah, no problem, Idle. Could slide to 412 or below. Lots of selling. Yeah, you can always track it and ignore trading it if you're not certain on where it's going to go. Usually if I'm not certain on a trade, then I just won't take it. Like this QQQ call, it looks like it could go higher, but it's failing at 319. So I don't have enough confidence to get in this trade yet. And I don't have enough confidence to take a bearish trade because it's not telling us that it's going to go lower either. It's just trading flat for right now. You could always take an iron condor too, but with this choppy market, I don't think iron condors are really worth it. All right, momentum is starting to come down for QQQ. Starting to. And now those same calls are basically the same price that I was looking at earlier, 105. A little bit cheaper, 103. But still not confident in this trade until we get a decent sell. All right. All right, I'm going to try to get him cheap at 105. Maybe 103 if I'm lucky. Haven't taken the trade yet. US SEC Gensler. What's he talking about today? One heck of a mess in the capital markets if debt ceiling is not raised before the government goes into a technical default. Talking about US default on their debt. Not really sure how that would affect the SEC, but well, I guess if the SEC controls the buying and selling of... No, that's through the Treasury Direct, not the SEC, so I don't know. Not like the SEC is very useful anyway. All right, we're closer to 319 now. So we're just chopping in the range between 318 and 319 for right now. Chopping it up like some onions. Each candle is going higher though. So it's looking positive. IWM was just such a dead giveaway. I want to hit that new low. But there's some supports down here at 177 to 177.50 with all the volume in this range. SPY momentum is looking down. So if I were to take a put, I would take it on SPY versus QQQ for right now. And my guess, you're looking at probably 412 would be my guess for the day. 414 put, it's going for 130 right now, so you could flip that to about $2 if we do drop down to 412 by the end of the day. All right, I'm going to take that trade on SPY to 412. Not getting filled. There we go. 126 fill. New options alert. Day trade. Premium members. Just bought a 414 SPY put expiring today, the 18th at 126. He had some supports also at about 412.90 that it bottomed out on before. So watch out for that. But banks not doing too hot on earnings. Probably what's sending SPY down more than QQQ, only down 0.08, SPY down 0.2% as of right now. IWM has fallen the most, 0.75% now, down to 177.44. Still looking to close at 167.70, so still about 70 cents to go down for that to reach my profit target. here we go. Going to test this low again. 412.90 for SPY. QQQ starting to pull back, but not as significant compared to SPY right now. $412.94. Yeah, roughly. That was the low, I'm guessing, right here. 412.93 actually. So you're going to get some supports right below it down to 412.84. And then if we crack that, you're going to get some supports between here and 412. But my guess, we could hit 412 by the end of today, which is another about $1 down from where it's trading, or about 0.25%. So SPY would end the day down a total of 0.5%, which not much day-to-day change again. That's why the VIX is only up 1% right now. But you started at 416, so 1% total since the opening bell, or the pre-market highs, I should say. Q's down to 318.60. So close to its lows, but still off of them. Their lows was 318, so a lot more to sell off for QQQ if you want to take the bearish trade there. But following momentum, I'd rather trade SPY right now, at least. But yeah, definitely some supports down here. So we could just trade range bound, which would be unfortunate. 413 to 413.50 wouldn't be too shocking. But it looked like the momentum was headed down for a second. One of the ECB members says the euro area economy will not go into a recession. Yeah, I don't know about that. Whenever you raise rates, you're destroying demand, which causes recessions. But 412.94 and then Gonzo. What's the move for Tesla tomorrow? Tesla's reporting after hours tomorrow. My guess, they could be below 180, so you could do a put debit spread below 180 if they miss on their earnings, is what I'm thinking could happen. So I would do a put debit spread, probably 185, 180 strike prices. I got a Netflix trade so far, assuming that it's going to go down to 322. But yeah, SPY got that support at 412.94. Bouncing off of it for now. Chopping around like a lumberjack. 412 would lead it back into the range that it was in before this breakout in the last couple of trading days, though, so that wouldn't be too shocking ahead of big tech earnings if there's some anxiety around it, especially after banks fell this morning. Everything's down this morning. Small caps, QQQ, the big caps, mega cap companies are a mixed, with NVIDIA trading at 280 up 3%, Microsoft down just 0.5%, Apple up 0.5%. So those are mixed. So that's why you're seeing the QQQ not making any decisive moves yet. You'd probably have to see a drop for Apple and NVIDIA to see a decent drop for QQQ. But yeah, looks like we got that support pretty solid at 413 for SPY. Now it's back to 413.50. If we break this chop, I'll probably exit. If we go much higher than 413.50. That would signal to me that markets are changing momentum. At least for SPY. Yeah, we're at 413.50 now, so definitely looks like momentum is shifting to the upside, so I'll get out. Hopefully at 105. There we go. Nope. Didn't get filled at 105. The ask is 100. All right, I'll put my order in for 100. QQQ break into the upside now. A little bit to 319. Still some resistance there. IWM is still lagging behind, 0.6% down right now. But yeah, looks like SPY's coming back up. Next resistance at 414.50 if it reaches that. All right, flipping back to the calls. 414.50 break even. You would buy the 413 call for 414 or 120 right now. It's about a $30 profit you can make for each contract. It's not that good. Unless you go much higher. All right, I'm going to have to replace the order for the puts to get out. Now they're going for 95. I think that's the best price I'm going to get for them. If we get a good rally here. Things are very slow to turn around, though, so far. All right, I'm going to leave the order in for 95, I guess. Yeah, we're testing 413.70. All right, there we go. Out of that trade for a loss. Closing options alert. Just cut losses on the 414 SPY put at 95 each. Expiry was today, 418. All right. And got it for 252, sold it for 190 total, so 62 loss. And it looks like momentum could be shifting to the upside. But doesn't look promising as of yet with those highs at 413.80 or so. You'd have to want to break that and go above 50 RSI for a good move to the upside. How long do we have till a recession? My guess, probably about 6 months. Until, well, I guess probably like 9 or 12 months till an official recession, because you have to have 2 quarters of negative GDP, higher employment. I think that we're going to higher unemployment. I think that we're going to start to get higher unemployment coming in the next few months. I think especially for April, you're going to see a decent tick up in the unemployment rate. It was 3.5% at the end of March, and I think it's going to be 4% or close to 4%, 3.9 to 4% for April. So you're going to see a good tick up for unemployment for this month. And then GDP, I think, would probably slow down probably over the next 6 to 9 months. So my guess, probably about 9 months until we're into a official recession. Unless they change the definition of a recession, which wouldn't be too shocking with our current administration. But yeah, I think that's all the trades I got for y'all today. I'll keep monitoring throughout the day, see if we have any good moves to the upside or downside. Make sure to join the Discord. The free Discord. You can subscribe to the premium for my trade alerts when I'm not in my live sessions, and ask me questions. I have a nice little learning guide for options if you're brand new to it. Let's see right here. And a lot of other nice resources. The journal that I use to log all of my options. I'll log my options before I sign off for April. I think I made 2 or 3 trades today. 3 trades. I usually make 3 trades, 3 to 5 trades a day. But what was it? First one was a QQQ put, then it was IWM, and then it was SPY. This was a put, long put, which is a bear strategy. Put, long put, bear strategy. And then SPY was a put, long put. Lots of puts in the last couple of days. I Expirations were all today, all day trades, and all of them closed today. Strike price for QQQ was 320. Strike price for IWM was 178, if I remember right. Strike price for SPY was 414. And of course, now we're flushing down. Oh man, that sucks. Of course, that's okay. I still got the IWM puts, so still got profit to make there, but missed out on that opportunity. But let me type in these. I opened 5 of them at 82 a piece. These, the QQQ, IWM, I opened 3 at 106. And SPY, I opened 3, or actually just 2 at 126. Close these at 95. Haven't closed IWM as of yet. And then QQQ, I closed those at an average of, let's see, 242, 411, 653 over 5, average of 131 each. So a nice little 245 profit, $62 loss. IWM not closed out of yet, so we can't count that. But for April so far, up 108 thanks to today's trading action, making $183. So recovering some of the earlier losses. A lot of the losses that I was taking earlier was based on trading spreads. And right now, I'm not a huge fan of spreads just because the day-to-day movements aren't very big. The risk-reward ratio for spreads aren't very good because the volatility is so low with a VIX at 17. So if you're not getting a good risk-reward, in my opinion, spread options aren't worth it. The only thing that's really worth trading as of right now is 0 data expiration calls and put options that I've been running for the last few trading days. And yeah, you can take losses if you're choosing the wrong direction, but if you're following where the momentum is going, usually that momentum really builds up, like from 416 to 412 or whatever we're trading at now. So if you're following momentum and then choosing wise strike prices, I was assuming 412.80. Actually, I think I was choosing 412 down here. So I would have missed that even then, but there was some support at 412.80 that it just bounced on that you could have took profits at. But yeah, that's the trading for today. What should we do with the money before then? Like I said, spreads I don't think are worth it. 0 data expiration options, probably your best bet, but just follow momentum and don't trade against momentum. If you're trading against momentum, you are going to lose your ass. Big bounce off of the 200 moving average. Yeah. QQQ is below 318.50 again. So, yeah, you're getting these small dips just below the lows, but immediately bought up. But yeah, that's all the trading action I got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 9:30. See everybody.